G'day, I'm Tim Thompson. Today I want to share with you 5 quick tips to make your fencing go a lot smoother. In the meantime, can I encourage you to hit the little subscribe button down there if you like what you see, because it'll really support the channel and help me produce more content like this. Okay, let's get into it with tip number 1. So tip number 1, when you're running out a stay wire around a post, you've got to do 2 loops. It can bind up a bit, so use inox spray or something similar to that just to wet your staples so that the wire slides easily through. It'll make you a lot faster and stop tangles. You have no idea how much faster this makes the job. Which brings me to tip number 2, which is kind of related. When you're straining up end assemblies and box ends, always run the wire around the posts twice. Why? Because it gives you double the length of wire, which means that you get more stretch in the wire and you can tighten your wires up. If you only run one wire, you've got a limited amount of stretch in the wire and you'll more likely break the wire than tighten it. So always run 2 rounds. Now with the inox on the end posts in the staple and 2 runs of wire, I've got this nice and tight limited fuss. All I have to do now is tie it off. And hey, if you want to find out how to do this knot, the strainer knot, there's a link in the description here that'll take you straight to the video. I always put about 1/3 of the hole in, then ram it, then 1/3, ram it, 1/3. I find if you do, particularly the bottom of the post in a small increment, the post ends up being a lot tighter. But you notice as I'm tamping it, I let go of the bar every time it hits the ground. That's why I don't need gloves and I don't get blisters, because my hands aren't getting a shock every time the bar's going into the ground. Don't know if I've said that in a past video or not, but it's a good tip. Just with looking after your tools while you're working, never ever leave your handles lying on the ground. It's not just losing them in the long grass that can be an issue, it's the sun. If they're standing up in the ground, they get much less sun energy onto them, they get a lot less hot, they don't burn your hands when you're working in a hot paddock on a hot summer's day. You know what? It's actually got me thinking. I wonder if it's true that if you stick something into the ground, it'll stay cooler than if you lay it on the ground. Let's find out. I happen to have a little laser thermometer. Let's see what happens with a quick experiment. It's 43 degrees here today. That's about 110 in American. And we've come out into the middle of the paddock. We'll come out a little bit further away from the shade. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this bar into the ground, and we're going to leave this here for about 20 minutes. We're going to come back in 20 minutes time and we're going to measure with this little gadget here just how hot that bar is in degrees Celsius. Alright, it's 3 o'clock. Let's see what it's like at 20 past 3. Alright, so it's 20 past 3. Let's just aim this right at the bar. We'll just aim this right at the bar, and it's 54 degrees here, and it's a little bit cooler, 52 degrees down the bottom there. Second step, let's lay it on the ground, let's leave it out here in the sun for 20 minutes, come back and measure it again. Now, just as a bit of an idea while we wait, I'm just measuring the ground temperature here on this bit of dirt, and it's 67 degrees Celsius. So no wonder those ants are moving fast down there. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes and our bar's just been lying out here in the sun. I haven't put it down on bare ground, I've got it down where there's plenty of grass cover. 64 degrees, 65 degrees. So folks, I think there we have it. Laying the bar on the ground on a hot day, an extra 10 degrees, burny on your hands. Not a good idea. By the way, there's been a bit of cloud cover coming and going. which we didn't have when we were standing the bar up. So if anything, this should be a little bit cooler, but yeah, laying the bar on the ground, a lot hotter. So there you go, stand your tools up, don't leave them lying on the ground on a hot day, and you'll work a lot more comfortably. Awesome tip, scientifically proven. Have you ever been frustrated trying to measure each and every post before putting up your wire? It's a bit of a fiddly job, isn't it? Then you've got to try and hold your wire there, then you've got to try and get your hammer out, then you've got to try and get your staple and get your hammer in. There must be an easier way. Well, there is. Just go and get yourself a 1 metre piece of timber and I'll show you what to do. Okay, so we've got our 1 metre piece of timber. Now all we have to do is measure on our piece of timber exactly where we want the staples to go on every single post. So we just quickly measure that out. Once we've got those two marks on, we get ourselves a couple of clouts, and everywhere you want a wire to go on every post, you put a clout in facing slightly upwards. And there you have it. This is our measuring stick. Now let's go see how we use it. See, it's actually really easy. All I have to do, put the timber in like this, push it into the fence, let it drop, and my wires are exactly where I want them to be. Once my wires are in the right place, all I have to do is lean against them and they're ready for stapling. I don't have to worry about where my wires are, both my hands are free, and all I have to do is put my staples in. Makes the job so much quicker and easier. So get yourself a 1 metre stick and a couple of nails, you'll go heaps quicker. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit that little subscribe button down there and support the channel. I try and bring out a new video most weeks, and I aim at sort of helping your farm and lifestyle sort of thing.